there, everyone. A good and a happy Thursday. I'm King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Just a few days away from Seahawks and Rams. One more game to get to the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about that forecast. Really not going to be a whole lot different from what we have been noticing, although today was a bit of a change-up. We had a few more clouds out there, still pretty chilly, and a few light showers out towards the coast. We're going to get into that here in just a bit, but we're going to also talk about next week, how things will eventually become a bit more wet. At least we have a chance of showers on the way for us. But first, let's get into that Rams and Seahawks matchup here this Sunday. This will be for the NFC Championship, and you can see that temperatures are expected to be more around those mid-40s by kickoff. So expect to see a good amount of clouds around. Rain, though, looks to hold off until we head on into more of the middle parts of next week. While we've had some of the quiet conditions and some of the clearer skies, it's been cold, especially during the morning hours. Upper 20s and lower 30s this morning, down to 26 in Bellingham, 30 degrees in Tacoma, 26 also down that way around Olympia, and for Seattle, 29 degrees. At least it's getting cold around the passes too, in the lower 20s and the upper teens. But this is what we're going to be keeping an eye out for over the next few mornings. More of this patchy fog that's going to be around, and some of that could come along with some of these freezing temperatures, which will mean we could be watching out for some areas of freezing fog. So keep an eye out for some of those slick spots. Definitely give yourself some extra time before you head out the door and head to your destinations during the morning. But check this out right here. It's been 9 consecutive days so far with no measurable rainfall. Now, that does not include today. Today would make it 10 consecutive days. And now as we get ready to head on into the next few days, we could see maybe a few more of those numbers added on and could make a run at that 15-day consecutive streak with no measurable rainfall for January, and that sits at 15. So if we do that, of course, that will mean that we will tie a record for January standards. And overall, well, the forecast is going to be calling for a bit more of these cloudy conditions to be around as we head on into tonight, but tomorrow and heading on into more of the weekend. Check it out, more sunshine is going to be ahead for us. Maybe some rain coming back into the picture later on into next week, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a whole lot. At least some shower activity, though, will be ahead for us. We've seen some light sprinkles and some light showers out this way towards the coast. So you can see La Push looking kind of damp here into our Thursday evening. Westport kind of the same too. Had a few rain droplets showing up on the camera lens a bit earlier here into the day, but looks like things are trying to dry out there too. And a glorious shot right now of Bellingham. As you can see, a lot of clouds out there, but check out how it's reflecting off of the bay because just of how quiet and still the waters are right there, giving us a nice reflective view of the sky. Everett, well, things are quiet for us too. Just a few of those rays trying to pierce between the clouds, but mainly cloudy skies for many of us there, and what we're seeing here in Seattle too as we get ready to head on into the evening, and temperatures which are sitting in the low 40s right now will quickly drop down into the 30s as we head on into the night. But a calm wind for us and expecting to keep things pretty quiet as we head on into the night, but clearing skies ahead, which will allow those temperatures to drop into the 30s and not even into the 20s for early tomorrow morning. There is the activity right now, as much as we are going to see here for some time. Some light showers out this way towards more the Olympic Peninsula. And you can see that moving across parts of the tip of the Olympic Peninsula. Clallam County seeing just a bit more of that, and that extends farther south too across parts of the central and the south coast. And maybe even a few sprinkles around areas such as Olympia, or at least across the southern part of Thurston County. Big picture, that moves on out of here, and high pressure moves right back in. It's going to strengthen, and that's going to clear us out here as we head on into Friday and into the weekend. So as far as some of the showers out there, they're going to continue to die off here as we head on into the night. You can see that wave of clouds just off to our north and to our east right there. That will be part of a frontal boundary that will slip on through, provide and produce a reinforcing dose of some cooler air, especially when it comes to our overnight lows. That's going to help to keep things cold during the overnights. Pretty chilly during the afternoons too, and eventually that air mass will modify, but it's more of a grazing shot because the majority of it is heading across the central and the southern part of the U.S. Yes, the southern part, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second because there's a winter storm that's going to be happening down across those parts. For us though, clearing out as we head into the night, maybe a little fog for tomorrow morning. Again, keep an eye out for freezing fog with the very chilly temperatures. Clear though, and plenty of sunshine for your Friday afternoon. We'll keep that going as we head on into more of the afternoon and the evening hours. Friday night into early Saturday, a few patchy areas of fog yet again with plenty of sun as we head on into the afternoon. And then as we get closer to Sunday, you'll see a few more clouds beginning to arrive, which will just be clouds here as we head on into that playoff game for the Seahawks. All right, let's take a look at this right here. This is Futurecast, and this is showing more of the nation. And you can already see, this is 6:30 Saturday morning, that system across more of the central and the southern parts of the U.S. beginning to strengthen and really beginning to gain a bit more of a form. You see all those areas of peach or pink colors and those blue colors. Well, that's all wintry precipitation. The peach and the pink is more icing or sleet that might be happening down into parts of Texas or of New Mexico, even extending over towards more of the higher terrain of Arizona. Seeing a lot of that too as you go across more of Colorado, at least of the snow variety. The blue that you see right there, that's all snow, and you can see all of that extending off towards more of the eastern part of the country. Now, as we kind of zoom out, I'm going to show you more of this. You can see all of that really continuing to gather and to gather strength and more of that organization. And when that happens, we're going to see quite the icing event across some parts of the South. Now, that Saturday afternoon, you can see that continuing to extend into parts of Alabama, even Mississippi, Georgia. You have some of that cold air damming across this side of the Appalachians right here, more of the eastern slopes and the eastern side of the Appalachians. That colder air likes to get kind of locked in and bottled in, so it doesn't really escape as readily, even though you have a southerly and more of a warm flow like you're noticing across parts of Alabama and Mississippi. And even into southern Tennessee, you can start to see that warm nose of air trying to guide its way up into that part of the state, helping to create more of a rain event for them. But eventually we're going to see some switch over, and we'll see that turn into more rain for some folks and stay icing for others. Now, the real big crutch, or the real big situation is going to be where exactly do we see that switch over, and if we do switch over to see more rain with this or not. Either way, you can see the northern edge of this is going to be a lot of snow, and that's going to help to produce quite a bit of impacts for that part of the country where they don't really see all that much snowfall. For us over here, well, by Monday, we're seeing a few more clouds. Here's Tuesday. We're seeing that system coming in from off of the Pacific, and check this out. By the time we head into Wednesday, it looks like showers could be coming back into the picture. More increasing chances there, maybe seeing some better chances as we head on into more of the day on Saturday, too. We'll keep an eye on that for you. As far as what we're going to be keeping an eye out for tonight, more of those freezing temperatures. Lows dropping down near, if not below freezing, and seeing a lot more of those 20s for early tomorrow morning. And then highs tomorrow, going to get back up to around more the mid-40s around Blaine, 43 in Orcas Island. Lake Kavanaugh getting up to 43 degrees as well. 47 in Oso, Monroe topping off at 46. We'll see a high of 45 in Coopville. Kingston up to 45 degrees, mid-40s around Issaquah, and in Snoqualmie, Maple Valley up to 47. We'll see the highs reach more the mid-40s around areas such as Bainbridge Island, Belfair up to 46, 48 in Puyallup, 46 in Olympia, and 45 in Tenino. Here's your 7-day forecast. We're going to keep things pretty chilly during the afternoons and cold during those morning temperatures. And yes, we do expect that as we head on into later on next week that we'll have a few more of those rays of sunshine being blocked out by the clouds, and eventually those rain chances coming back around for us as we head on into the middle part of next week. Okay, everyone, well, hope that you have a tremendous Thursday night. Keep an eye out for some of those slick spots with the freezing fog tomorrow morning, and we'll talk to you pretty soon.